Hey everybody, AJay the CEO here. Hold on. I have a little different setup today, so I'm not going to be able to hear myself. Hey everybody, AJay the CEO. Alright, so I'm having a loop. Hold on one second. Let me, I was trying to do something different, and now I'm getting an echo. Hey everybody. So I can't play this back because it's going to get an echo. Alright. Let's go back to my intro here for a second. Let me rehook this up and do it again. All right, is this better now? I can hear better now. And I'm not getting the echo. Now it sounds like my audio is really low. Oh. All right, how does that sound? Let me know, folks. All right, I hear fine now. All right, so I'm sounding fine from what I hear. Let me know if y'all are not hearing and I need to increase the volume and everything. But wow, what a way to start the last Q&A of 2021. Hey folks, AJay the CEO here, and I just realized I didn't change this logo to the new one. Thank y'all so much, first off, for the thoughts and opinions on the logo. And as you can see, we've been changing over everything to our new branding and all this other cool stuff. So I hope y'all like that. And I'm waiting for my ATEM software to connect. Is it one of those days today? I don't think so. I'm just waiting for everything to load up here. Man. I hope y'all having a great day, folks. I'm gonna be at Pastor Allen's church, St. Paul, Church of God in Christ, to help out with a New Year's concert. So that's gonna be later this evening. I'm gonna be heading down that way around 7 o'clock, and he told me that the back camera went out. So that's gonna be fun to try and figure that out. and none of my images are loading on the ATEM. That's strange. Oh well. Let's give some shout outs to everybody who is up in here. And my apologies, folks. I made this live stream and it changed my time. I normally don't go till 10:30, but it said my live stream was at 8:50, and I'm like, no, it was not. But hello, Reverend Richard D. Jacobs. I don't know if you're still there, but hey, hello, Darius O'Kane. Hello, Norm. Hello, Wanda. Hello, Shane and Hannah. Hello, Video Streams. Hello, Keith. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Francisco. Are you getting some sleep? Daryl. Hello, sir. And again, my apologies for having to change up our time. I wasn't expecting to have to deal with a funeral, but thank you for the understanding. Augustine, what's going on? Junior Miles, hello. Sean, hello. Jack Wolf, hello. Ian, hello. Adriel Washington, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Hello. Jerry, hello. Scott, hello. Mike, what's up? Folks, you said it looks a little dark. Yeah, I need to crank up my... Oh, I don't have my accent light on. And it's a little cloudy today. Let me turn up my lights here. And we'll see if that can make it a little bit better. Yeah, I cranked it up just a little bit there. So hopefully that works a little bit better for y'all. Man, I just want to thank y'all so much, folks. I really appreciate it. Can y'all believe it? We're at the end of the year. Woohoo! And then what we say, we got more work to go. But hey, folks, I'm here. We're going to see what we can do as much as we can. Let you know. I just talked with Dee, my admin, and we're making a few changes because, unfortunately, because of how this thing is going, I am going to have to, all of the people who I already have locked in, y'all are good. But going forward, for the time being, until further notice, all on-sites have been restricted to nothing but virtual. Got to be careful about all that stuff. So be mindful of that. So I can still do an on-site. You just got to have Zoom or Google Meet. And you just got to walk around with the camera and stuff like that. But we got some other stuff still planned. Again, all the appointments and everything that we have are still going to be in place. Still heading to Chicago Monday. Still heading down to Florida the 13th through the 18th. I kept saying the 19th. My bad. It is actually the 18th. Got a couple of appointments down there as well, too. Just finished reserving the car and all that other stuff to get around. But if I don't get to your question, folks, please feel free to email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 72 hours to get back to you, and we'll do the best that we possibly can. If you are not a part of the Facebook group, please join the Facebook group. Hey, it's like this every single day with people all over the planet. No matter what question you got, most likely there's somebody who's come across it or has the same equipment. Get a little sip there. I'm glad I looked on the live stream. I was getting ready to go up the street to get some breakfast and come back. But hey, went ahead and got started. Mousy, hello. Sam, hello. Christ International Church of Orlando, hello. Hey, I'm about ready to be in your area pretty soon. Philip, hello. I think I already said Jerry. Well, if I didn't, hey, Jerry Davis. Pat, let me take the Facebook comment down while I'm talking. Kenny, Mark, hey, Desk Geek, hello from Mexico. I was just there. Hey, folks, like I said, y'all go ahead and throw out some questions. We're going to be here to try and help you as best as we possibly can. I'm going to go a little bit longer. Obviously, I started a little bit early because y'all were already here, and I appreciate. And again, my apologies for, I don't know what happened with the snafu on that stuff. But, hey, we are here. And if you got any questions, go ahead and fire it away. And I think, let me go back to the first page, and I want to honor any questions that were thrown here. Reverend Richard Jacobs here. saying, hey, AJ, good morning, and thanks for your help always. We have mounted 3 PTZ cameras with PoE, and we want a switch to connect it to our network. What's your recommendation for a switch? Personally, a PoE switch, I like the TP links. They're very affordable, maybe like $65 for an 8-port switch. If you don't have a unified network, I would go with, if you do, I go with a unified one to keep everything in check with that. But let me pull up the one that I've actually used. And that's number 3. This is the one that I have used. Here, as you can see by it again, I've used both of them depending on if it's a 5-port or a 8-port. I'll have a link to either one of them down below if y'all are interested. And they work very, very well. I actually have another one over here for Zion Baptist that I'm going to be installing once I get back from all of my Florida stuff. It's supposed to be at the end of January. And sorry, it's like I got all these pop-ups showing up on my on Chrome all of a sudden. So that's the 8-port PoE switch right there. And then we have the 5-port. Boom, there you go. What's our next one here? And then back to Rectum Jacob. Our current PoE cables are a Gear IT Cat 6 Ethernet patch cable outdoor. Yeah, all of that's fine. All of that part is fine. So you should be good. Oh, it was one more comment. And the switch we got, but couldn't get it to work. Yeah, go with the TP link, Reverend Richard. I think that will work great for you. Let's just go through all the comments. Just make sure we don't miss anybody. Daryl, I got the A10 Mini Extreme set up and have my camera and computer hooked up to it. I've learned how to live stream to Facebook, but how can you get it to stream on YouTube at the same time? You're either going to have to connect it to your computer and let your computer live stream it, or you're going to have to sign up for a service like Restream and have Restream point to all of your accounts, and then the A10 will stream to Restream, and then Restream will stream to both of the platforms. That is the easiest thing. Well, the easiest is just if your computer was already fast enough to live stream, let that one live stream to the different platform, and then let the A10 stream to another one. That would be the best suggestion there for you. And also, next question from you. How do I get to do lower thirds with the ATEM? How do I do picture in picture with the ATEM? Picture in picture in the ATEM is actually a button. And I don't have the camera set up so you can well, actually, hold on. Actually, I forgot I do have another ATEM Mini Extreme over here. So for the picture in picture, those are these buttons right here for the presets. You just got to press that. If you want to make any detailed changes, you need to do that in the software. Now for lower thirds, what you need to do is you're going to be using the downstream key depending on your software of choice. So if we cut over to the desktop here, and I'm going to be using the picture in picture so you can see. So what you would do is come over here, the palettes, and you're going to use the downstream key. You would change your field source and key source to the input for your computer. So say I'm using the right monitor. Say I'm using this one. And that would be the output from, why don't we just bring it up, AJ? I'm going to bring a presenter and output it onto monitor, the right monitor. So we come over here, screen configuration. Number 1. Yep. All right. So that's the right one. So I'm going to output this to a given screen, and I need my cue list. Which one should I use? I use the Bible trivia one. And I don't want sound. I don't want to do that. Let's do this. So I'm going to bring this over here. All right. So that is what's going on to right monitor. So if I switch over to right monitor right now, see, that's what you're seeing. That's coming into the ATEM. All right. So first we need to make sure we're using this as a lower third. So let's go ahead and clear everything. We're going to add a new scripture, make the background nothing, which is not the same thing as black. Make it nothing. And then we're going to select a scripture. And let's do James. Well, actually, let's do something. Psalms 100. And I'm going to change this to a lower third layout. This is the same thing if you did it in Pro Presenter and as well too. So let's search for that. I don't want to show the reference. I don't want to show the translation. So if I launch this right now, and I go back to the screen, this is what is going to show. All right. But let's go back in here. That's what's outputting to the right monitor. So I set this to right monitor, fill to right monitor. Now, if I turn on the downstream keyer number 1 right here, now that's how you see it show up down below. So even if I came over here and switched back to my front screen, you see the scripture is still here. I can go back into your presentation software of choice. I can change verses, all this other stuff, and it's going to exist here as long as the DSK is on. All right. So hopefully that helps. And there is a button on the ATEM Mini Extreme. It's right to the left of the record button that you can turn this on and off. There is no fade. It's just on and off. So hopefully that helps. And I do have a detailed video walking through how to do that. If you look up on the channel for how to display lyrics and scripture over live video with the ATEM, that will be there for you. Excuse me. Let me see. Page. Let me know. Do y'all have a New Year's Day service going on today? What y'all have planned? Let me know down in the comments. Norm wants to know what software such OBS are you using? Currently, I'm using vMix, and I do have my system set up now, so you can actually see it. This is my streaming system running right now. That's what's going on in the other system over here to the left. So I got all this stuff running on the system over here that y'all can't see. So that's coming in. That's what I am using. Norm also wants to know, does OBS do picture-in-picture? Yes, you have to set it up to do that. So, like, for example, if I cut over here, and my OBS was acting up yesterday. Let's see if it performs better today. Give me a second, trying to set it up here. All right. This is gonna get kind of funky. What I'm getting ready to do. All right, if we go over here to OBS and you see, we're gonna be doing a loop of a loop here because I'm using what I got right now. I don't have time to set up this other camera, or do I? Forget it. So I'm over here. And what you would do is you can have one source like this, and then you would just come in here and add another source, and you can do a picture-in-picture that way, whether it be a video, whether it be a still image, whatever. And this functions as layers. So whatever is the topmost, that's what's going to show. So if I cut over here, you see all of these here. The topmost one is what shows. So like this text, if I move this down to the bottom, see, now you can't see it because it's under everything. You know, and it's just in the layer approach. So if you want to do picture-in-picture, you would just make another image to go on top of it. So like, for example, I can come in, bring in my capture device that I have here. And now there we go. We got a picture-in-picture. So really straightforward. Just understand that they work in layers and you stack them. All right. What's the next one? What is the next one? Yeah, and I know I'm answering some old questions, but because people were on here earlier than me, so I really appreciate it, folks. And again, if you haven't, please go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos about your media ministry. And we did get our giveaway button fixed. So if you go to grow.ajhomes.com/50K giveaway, enter your information in there. You only got to do it once, and we'll be adding you into a list once we hit 50,000. We are going to do a giveaway. And the runner-up is going to also get an ATEM Mini Extreme. So just to verify and show y'all, here is the link up and running. You just got to enter your name and email address, and that's it. You know, we're going to be picking, but just like the rules when we did before, when we do that giveaway, we agreed you have 16 hours to respond. If you don't, we are picking somebody else. All right. So again, Happy New Year, everybody. Let's go over here to page 3. Let's see. Adriel here wants to know. Let me get my other screen so I can read that. This live is definitely on time. What is a great affordable camcorder I can pick up today? Our main camera went out. It all depends. I mean, if you go with one of these, if you just need something to get by, you can go with like something. This is a Sony Handycam. This is the original camera we started with. You can see if you can go to a Best Buy or a Walmart and see, honestly, any of them. A Panasonic is kind of like, all of these are almost like in the same frame. You just want to make sure that you have an HDMI output from them. So a Panasonic, I don't know the exact number. Any of the CV line Handycams from, CX lines of Sony Handycams, or any of the Canons, Vixias, the R800 or that 80 series would do well for you. What we got? Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy Year. Let's see. Mike here. Good morning. Installing 3 NDI PTZ cameras, live streaming PC, and vMix along with a Kia Mini for switching. I don't know if that's a Kia or ATEM Mini. Doesn't matter. For switching PTZ camera shots in church. Suggestions on best practices for training volunteers on use. The best thing that I feel is take a GoPro if you have one, or just your phone camera, strap it onto your chest or hold it and walk through everything that you do to operate it. Then take that camera back and write down every single thing that was done. That would be a good training guide, because like for me, I do this stuff so much that if I tried to write it down off the top of my head, there's stuff that I forget that I just have a subconscious thing that I just automatically do. I would say anytime you're doing anything, record yourself doing it. Keep that video to the side and then write out the steps. That way that they have an actual guide to exactly what you're doing. Do the same thing when you're operating the cameras, whether it's troubleshooting, actually basically operating the workflow of the service. Do a mock recording of the entirety from beginning to end, which reminds me, I need to do an updated version of ours. I did mine a while ago, but we're going to be doing a video on a best practices, or not best practices, but what I do for a workflow, and developing a workflow for a basic ministry live stream. So that's what I would think would be the best thing to help you with that. So we got everybody talking about your sound. Ooh, excuse me. Mike, you need to make a custom vMix social theme for the Q&A for the comments based on your new theme. Yeah, I'm working on it. All right, so everybody said sound is fine. What page am I on? 3. All right, 2. So good morning. Everybody's saying pictures light up. Norm. Yeah, I got my long johns and everything over here. Chicago is getting about a foot of snow tomorrow. Joy. Sam, yes I do. I've been in New Jersey quite a bit this year. So I am more than well. It depends on what's going on now with since I've restricted on sites. We just have to do some planning on if I decide to do one. Back to how I did it originally, that if I was going to be there, is very few people, and preferably, maybe have somebody to watch over me if I'm there in the church, if I'm doing an install, and kind of would like to be there by myself just to try and stay safe and stuff like that. But that's about it. Oh, and I forgot to put that on here as well, too. If you want some more information and you want to set up a consultation, I got to change that, too. Man, there's so many logos I need to change. Go to ajhomes.com/consultations, and we can work out something. I now have Google Meet as an option for the people who are not interested in Zoom. So there you go, folks. All right, so do y'all still need me to crank up the light some more? Let me know. Maybe I'm just reading some of the old comments. All right, I will let you know. I am working on putting more updates on my social, as well as community tab on the YouTube, and tell y'all where and when I'm going to be. Paul watching from Malaysia. Thank you for joining me. Hey, Watson. Hello. Desk Geek wants to know what happened with your Web Presenter 4K. Well, you're watching it right now. That is what is producing the live stream right now. So can I disconnect this so you can see? Come on now. I got a mess here. Oh. I don't have a free hand to do this, but we'll see. This is the camera. This is my setup. This is the web presenter that's doing the stream right now. It is still right there under my desk. So it is still kicking and working great. All right. Can I switch over to this one? Get a little space here. All right. So maybe I should have just did that. So here's the web presenter. And then I put up a monitor right here. That's not going to stay there for long because I got way too much stuff on my desk here. All right. So that was my link. All right. Philip has a question here. Do you know if any manufacturer will release an ATEM-like product which has both HDMI and USB connections for camcorders and also for webcams? I use both for streaming. I am not aware of anything like that because once it comes to using USB, you need something else to interpret and transcode the video signal that's coming over USB and stuff like that. I mean, I know a bunch of people who've made something with Raspberry Pis and stuff like that, but I am not aware of any company that makes something like that. T here. On the X32, there is a matrix recently set up going to output 1 and an in-ear monitor that was previously going to output 1. So wouldn't that mean the in-ear monitors is no longer operating? Let me read that again. On the X32, there's a matrix recently set up going to output number 1, okay? And an in-ear monitor that was previously going to the output 1. So wouldn't that mean that would mean that the in-ear monitor, yes, you're correct. If I'm reading that right, yes, the in-ear monitor is no longer getting an output. Pastor Alicia, good morning. Mark, honestly, I have not played around with it. I just saw a little bit of it. I recently just emailed them asking if I can get a sample to review for Houses of Worship. So waiting to hear on how everything works. So hopefully y'all can see. This is the TV, the 32-inch TV that I told you I use for my multi-view up here, so y'all can see everything. Maybe I kind of step away and use the camera real quick so y'all can see everything real quick. Now I'm gonna be real loud. So there's the setup. There's my overhead, and I am using. Oh, I was gonna use the zoom lens, but I don't have. Let me turn the. Hold on. Let me turn the mic on for this camera so that y'all can hear me. Hopefully, it's not gonna be that bad. All right. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. All right. So I don't have a zoom lens on here because this is too close, but I do have that. That is, let me move my trolley, my dolly over here. All right, so there's my setup. There's my older system that I just built right there just for making DVDs. There's my network. There's the PlayStation, which I was trying to play. My overhead camera, the streaming PC is right there. Like I showed y'all, that's the web presenter output that I have for a monitor. Web presenter is bolted up under the table. My roadcaster for sound. The original Sony camcorder that I just pulled down is right there. Don't really use it that much. My setup right here, my LG widescreen, and then my other AOC monitor, my two stream decks, the XL and the regular, the A10 Mini Extreme ISO, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, 4K, and my multi-view that I have sitting right there. And then there are the goals right there. And then, of course, Daddy loves Yanni, and I love Yanni 1 plus anything she says. So that's a running thing that we always do back and forth. See, I hope y'all were able to hear me. Hopefully it worked. So that was a quick little tour of my setup here. Christ International wants to know, Restream or StreamYard? Well, it all depends. Now, I talked about this before, and I tried to use it on our Facebook group, and I need to practice some more. Vimeo has the functionality now, just like Restream and StreamYard, to where you can just go directly through their software to control everything. Honestly, I would say it really doesn't matter. It all depends on which one has the functionality that you want. I'm playing around with Vimeo because they just added it, and I need to practice with it some more because it was kind of a little rough around the edges. And who is blowing up my phone? Oh, there's my phone talking about I was supposed to start my live stream. And Augustine, I saw that you sent me an update. Let me turn my phone off here. See, this is why that's why I say I need a vacation for my vacation. But anyway, it all depends on what functionality you want. I mean, all of them could work. It just all depends what you're doing. Steve, thank you so much. And yes, please do that. I would appreciate that. Daniel, man, I am on the way, but man, I heard there's supposed to be a foot of snow tomorrow. What's going on with that? Do I need to bring my galoshes and my parka and all that other stuff? I'm bringing my heated coat, and I bought some extra sweaters, but yeah, I'm not a fan of cold. Scott, here. Have you ever tried running software, ProPresenter, vMix, OBS, etc. on virtual machines? We use them for work, and they are good for recovery and testing. Yes, actually, originally I used to play around with that. My main issue that I had when I was playing around with doing OBS and stuff like that is routing the USB connection and the capture device that I was using at the time, which was way before the ATEM mini line and everything like that. When I was doing it, and it could talk directly to the Intensity Pro 4K or the deck link, it worked. But this was maybe 5 years ago. I have not tried this out recently, but Scott, you make me want to think about trying something like that. So I might look at doing that. I'm also looking at upgrading to a new Synology NAS because I need more space. So my old one, I'm going to donate to my church so we can have more storage at the church and then push all my stuff over. It's amazing how much space you use up when you start recording everything in 4K. Like the last video I just did, the what's next, where do we go from here video, that was around like 60 gigs of just files. And that was only from one camera. Just imagine if I did all of them. But I need some more space. So I say all that to say that the Synologies, I can run virtual machines on it, but I have Hyper-V on this computer. I can do that or any of the other ones. So I might want to play around that, Scott. And I'm sorry if I called you Steve. I want to try that out. Does this only work for Extreme or Y also, or will it work also with the Mini Pro? Then I'm missing what that question was relating to. Oh, speaking of the downstream key, no, it works on all of them. Any of the ATEMs. Doesn't matter from the mini all the way up. So it's the exact same thing. Isaac. Hi, is there a way to bring a virtual camera into StreamYard? Yes. Well, where is your virtual camera coming from? I need to know that, and then I can try and give a direction for that. Mousy, New Year's Eve service is at 12 p.m., then joint watch night service at 9:30 with 3 other churches. Awesome. Sam, Happy New Year. AJ, quick question. What do you think of ProPresenter 7 on the Mac Mini 1 versus your typical PC setup that you install? The Mac Mini, which originally I have here that is off, I got it to test that out. The issue that I have with the Mac Mini, not the newer ones that they just announced, like the one that I have, the original Mac Mini M1, it only allows 2 display outs. So I could only do the user interface for running ProPresenter and then 1 audience out. That's it. Everything else would have to be like NDI and stuff like that. That's what I don't like about the Macs. And honestly, that's what I don't like about Macs in general. When graphics cards were available, I could just go to a store and buy one when they were available with more inputs and all this other stuff. Can't do that with the Mac. And especially with the M1 chip, you're limited to how many displays out. So for me, I would not do that. And even if somebody says, oh, we're not going to expand, I never believe that, because I've had way too many churches say this is all we need, and 3 months later they want to expand. I'm all about setting the foundation for a skyscraper, even though a hut's going on it, so that when more growth, the vision has expanded, they don't have to buy nothing else. It's already there. That's just me. So not a hater of Apple stuff. That's just how it is. Pastor Alicia, will you be creating a new welcome package with different graphics this year? Yes, I will. I'm actually trying to look at making the graphics myself, but the main thing is getting the time to do it, because I think I figured out and fixed the issue with my book on Kindle on Amazon. So we got to finish that up and get that out for all the people who pre-ordered, and then get that out regularly for anybody else. And I need to shut down the pre-order because I don't want to honor that anymore, mainly because of the issues that were going on. But it will be available. I will let y'all know. I say that to say I got a lot of stuff on my plate, but we will honor the stuff that we have in place. Back to Daniel. Have you thought about making macros for actually you got to get out of my cameras and get out of my apartment? Yes, that's going to be a part of the workflow of how you would do everything in the ATEM. So just like we have the OBS bundle, the vMix bundle, we're going to be doing one that's solely for the ATEM as well too. So if you were doing everything. So for me, the one macro that I would want to do is realize right now, all of my audio is coming into the ATEM right now. So if I was bringing up presenter and I wanted to have graphics show, so actually let me do that right now because I see that my stuff is up. Clear foreground. So if I go to my super source right now. So right now, if I was just imagine, well, let me change this to a countdown because I think that would work better for this type of situation. So let's do this instead. Oh, and it's downloading. So if I was doing this and audio is coming through right now, see, that's not ideal. So like, for example, say you're playing this through your presentation software. The idea is you have to kill the audio so that no one else can hear going into Sanctuary. You could do that from the ATEM or do it from the board. How I would use a macro is when I switch to this, I would have a macro button that would kill the audio, but bring in the audio only for this system. For this slide, so that you can't hear anybody talking. That's just the first thought that I'm thinking about it. You could do the same thing as a macro to kill all the audio automatically when you go over to a certain image for be right back or something like that. So that's what I'm thinking. And that's some stuff, like I said, we got a very, very long list of stuff that we're going to be putting together for next year. Just with a lot of stuff that's going on. So really excited about that. So a bunch of folks are saying that they have watch night services at 10 o'clock. That's cool. Christ International. This is, how I'm bringing up all these comments. This is vMix Social that is connected to the live stream that pulls over all the text. And I have a page that I can just bring up. So if I go back over here to my system, vMix Social is the one that's over here, right here. And that's what is connected to YouTube only. And you see all the comments and it's pulling up a web page so that I can see everything that's going on. So if I switch back and I'm going to bring over my chat here, vMix Social shows up as a web page. And then I get this page like this, which has all y'all's comments. And I can just click on, like your comment, I click on this and I say send, and I click send, and it sends the command to vMix to bring that up in a preset graphic. So really, really cool. All right. A Watson wants to know, AJ, who do the sound setup for the church you install video for? Who does the sound setup for the church you install video for? Most of the time I do. Or it's something that's already pre-existing. And let me know if I was reading into your question wrong. Paul, I just started using Presenter Pass to Service and it is nice. Awesome. Awesome. Sure thing. I will let you know. Is there a chance to connect direct audio to sermonic mics? I need some more info on your question. Let me jump on. Oh, and then Paul is saying, need some water here. Meaning from the mixer to Android phone for live streaming. Yes, Rode actually has a miniature audio interface There's like an iRig for the iPhone that does this as well too. You could use the reverse of the Rode. These Rode wireless. So instead of it being a microphone, you could flip it around. So you can have it plugged in into the input jack for, like, instead of a lavalier, have that running in to this, and then have this connected to your phone. I've used this that way before, where I brought audio into my phone this way. So that could work. But then Rode actually has an audio interface for phones. Let me see where that is. Yeah, it's this micro. Yep, and he actually has it in the picture exactly the same way. It is the AI micro here that can work with a computer, or it can be connected to a phone to bring in inputs. So as you can see, he has it connected over to his phone as well too. And I don't want to play the video because I don't want to get hit with anything, but you see it's a compact audio interface that can bring in mics, and it's connected to your phone to bring in audio. So I will put a link down below for that. I wanted to play around with that, but I mean, since I have all these Rode wireless ones, I mean, there's really no need for me to get one. So, I mean, unless somebody really wants me to review it, I can get one. But I mean, I don't really just buy stuff like that, unless, because most of the time, if I do buy it, that's when we end up giving it away, because there's no reason for me to keep it. Try and bless somebody else. I don't see a link for it right now, so I'll just do the link directly to Rode, and hopefully that can help y'all out. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's listed on Amazon. It is listed as Sweetwater and B&H Photo, so that's where they got it. Alrighty. Yeah, y'all funny. AJay's on the way to Chicago. Yes, we are. Natty here. Anyone knows any trick to keep the Canon DSLR from going longer and removing the facial tracking when the subject moves? Mine is a T3i. I am not aware of that. The only thing that, when you're saying run it longer, that's one of the issues with DSLRs. They're really not meant for video for a long time. Now, you could try and do an external, like, dummy battery, so it's connected to external power, so you're not limited for that. But let me know. Hey, community, here's a question for y'all. Is anybody using the Canon T3i? And if you can help out Natty here with that question. Thank you so much. This has been a work in progress. This has been a 5-year type of thing. So, thanks. Adam, hello. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, Daniel, I must admit, the XLR I have is what's controlling all the vMix stuff, so I don't have to reach over here and change everything. I have another one, the original Stream Deck that I have. This is really for me, like, turning on my lights, turning on apps and stuff like that. I don't use it as much since all of the work I do hand off to this. There is one that I want to, I'm playing around with shortcuts for DaVinci Resolve when I edit. So that's really cool. Brian, Happy New Year. Robert, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining. And we got another spammer that's about ready to hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more. And we're going to report and for spam. Bye-bye. Let's see. AK saying, God bless you. Happy New Year's from Germany. What part of Germany are you from? I want to get back over to Germany. I'd like to actually visit. Shane and Hannah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. How's the camera going that you got? The PTZ. Did you able to get all that other stuff squared away? All right, we're on page number 1. Daniel saying, yes, it's supposed to be snowing. Bring some warm and waterproof foot gear. I'm hoping the snow is not bad. I also need to email you for the itinerary. Okay, let me know. I guess I need to get some new boots. No, I do have snow boots. My issue is taking all this stuff on a plane. Norm was saying it would be -5 on Sunday overnight in Chicago, so dress warmly. Yeah, I got sweaters and all this other good stuff. I haven't started packing, which is different for me. No, most of the time I've already been packed, but I'm gonna try and go do some last minute shopping on Sunday. Oh, excuse me. Daryl says, I got a late stream notification. I'm not sure if you answered my questions earlier in your stream. Yes, I did, sir. I did. If you rewind a little bit, I did answer your questions there. It was mainly, I did a demo showing the exact same thing about how do you do lyrics. I showed that and then look up on my channel how to display graphics, lyrics, and scripture on live video. Also, we answered your question on how to live stream to multiple places. You can either have a USB going into one of the other systems and say you have the ATEM going directly to streaming to YouTube. Then you can just have the USB connected to your to your PC, your presentation PC, and just open up a Facebook window and let it use just the ATEM as a webcam, and it will go directly. That's the easiest way. Or a paid option is to get Restream, connect both of your accounts to Restream, and then let the ATEM stream to Restream, and then Restream will go to the other places. Covenant Healing. Good morning. Blessed New Year. That having someone watch over you while doing construction is wisdom. Is Periscope still one of the platforms on Restream? I couldn't find it. Yes, it is, unless it changed in the last 24 hours. Let me go up in here and see. Oh, wait a minute. It says Twitter has deactivated Periscope. So let me try. I want to see if I can add my account again and see what happens. Yeah, it looks like they did. It connected as just Twitter for me. And it looks like Periscope is gone. So I guess so. That's interesting. They must not have been getting a lot of traffic or something. Yep, here it is, folks. Here's the message. Periscope is grateful to you for going live together and being a part of community. Past public broadcasts will continue to be available on Periscope web. Periscope is saying goodbye. So, yep, I guess Periscope is gone. So, mental note, that's something else we're not using anymore. Jehoshaphat. Good morning, AJ. Do you know about any translation software for live streaming in OBS? It's interesting that you say that. I am playing with a program called Descript right now, and I want to test it thoroughly out before I do a video on it. There's tons of people who've done videos on it, but you know how we do it. We do our videos in reference to media ministry. Now, when you're saying with live streaming to transcode it live, I am not aware of anything like that. There are services that are providing that they cost something for that. You could have your audio routed into kind of like Word or even Google Drive and Docs and have the audio transcode translated there, and it would be delayed. I am not aware of any service that does that live, but I will make a mental note to try and research some stuff like that. Very good question. Excuse me. Back to T. We are using Presenter and we need the stage display feature. Does it make sense paying or going to like Pro Presenter, Easy Worship, or similar? Just thinking. Honestly, I like Presenter. I don't like the fact that it is a monthly fee. So if you really need the stage display, go with Pro Presenter because all those features are built in. That's what I would think. And then honestly, if you paid for the full version of for Presenter for 2 years, it would have paid for what Pro Presenter would have cost. That's always going to give you those functions. That's just my personal opinion. Michael. Good morning and Happy New Year. Thank you for your excellent work. How can I optimize my computer for live streaming? HP laptop. Well, the first thing, before I even go any further, the i5 is not fast enough. You need to, it won't be fast enough for 1080p. You may be able to do 720p, but that's the issue with laptops. Like I do have a laptop that I use when I'm going around or when I was doing formation sports and we do games out in the field, even though I used to take a whole computer with me. But they have 2 graphics cards inside of that, and that's offloading everything. Unless you have some type of 1050 NVIDIA graphics card or higher, laptops, you're kind of limited on what you can do unless you have everything offloaded outside of it. So if you wanted to, honestly, the easier thing is to go with like an ATEM Mini Pro or higher so that it handles the live streaming. Because a laptop, you're pretty limited on what you can do. You can add more memory, but the memory is not going to help transcoding and the video, or encoding the video, and giving you more processing power. So sorry, but that's the only thing I can really think of. Aaron, the Blackmagic Ultra Studio monitor adapters allow you to add additional outputs. Okay, awesome. Now, but don't those require it can only be used for a program that supports it? I'm just wondering, because that's kind of like with the Decklink mini monitors. They work great, but it only works with a program that can actually send it to them, because they're not a graphics display card. So let me know. But I mean, that would be a good idea. I want to maybe play around with that and see. Thank you for that, Aaron. Robert, can you recommend a good HDMI coupler? Trying to connect a mini HDMI cable to a fiber optic HDMI cable. Didn't get a signal while testing using a Ugreen coupler. Honestly, these are the ones that I use. And my screen is going to get disconnected real quick. Hold on. These are the ones that I mean, they came with a pack of these from on Amazon. And I need to hook this up because my monitor is down. All right, is my mic up? Yes, it did. Let me turn my... All right, that's right. Let me see if I can find a link to those. And I have the same type of setup. I have mine going to a fiber optic cable, and then it goes to a regular. And these have worked fine for me. Go to my order history. HDMI coupler. Yep, and These are exactly the ones that I used. Comes with 6 of them. It's only like $6. So I'll send you the link to that here shortly. HDMI couplers. All righty. Let's see. Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Paul would like to know, AJ, we're using the A10 Mini to OBS. The audio is coming out from the record out on the mixer to the A10, but I'm getting echo sound on the live, like double sound. You need to verify that in OBS that you have all your audio disabled. So, for example, if I go here to OBS, and let's cut over to here. Make sure here you go to your settings. And, well, first off, here it is. This is your proof to showing how it's working. If you have more than one audio in here, that's what's causing your echo. Go into your settings, go to audio, set all of these to disabled. By doing that, these are global, meaning that most likely you have your mic that's being detected as the black magic is coming in here, but then it's also being added here. So like if I was doing this right now, and I'm gonna mute this because I don't want this to go crazy. So if I came in here, turned on the audio for the black magic, so you see me talking right here. But if I come back in here in audio and have my audio again under global, now see, this is where my echo is coming in because you're bringing in your audio twice. You don't need to do that. So the easiest thing for me is just to disable audio and then only bring audio in as a source for the giving scene that you're on. So hopefully that helps y'all. Let's see what our next one is. Streets of Destiny, what is going on? Thanks for joining. Mike wants to know, are there plans for you to put together a conference in 2022, a conference created specifically for church media directors? Well, we did have the E-Missionary Conference this year, and we are been so busy with all the stuff. We were supposed to have a follow-up meeting in September for planning the next one. We will be having another one next year, most likely. The way things are going, we're going to have it all virtual again. So be on the lookout for that. But yes, that is the plan. Actually, all the videos for what we did on our conference are going to be released on my channel in about 2 months. But you know what? Let me do that. Got to leverage some of these tools here. I'm going to put a poll here in the chat, and it's going to be left up to y'all. And depending on y'all's answers, that's how it's going to go. Should I release the E-Missionary Conference videos early? That, again, they were given over to anybody who paid for tickets. They can still watch them now. But the idea was they have access to it to a year. They're going to be released to everybody else within a year. So thinking about releasing them early. So that is what the poll question is. Y'all let me know. They're already uploaded. I just got to press a button, and they'll be readily available to all of y'all. They had some great stuff. Monty, thank you so much. New dad, are you getting some good sleep? Like Francisco, Monty, another channel y'all should subscribe to. Got some great tech tips and some knowledge and all this other stuff. So, hey, go ahead and hit up Monty there. Really appreciate it. Thank you there, sir. All right, back to Natty. Was saying that he also does have a dummy battery, but the video goes out like every 30 minutes, and I got to go back to live. Yeah, I think that's the limit of the DSLRs. they weren't really meant to stay on for that long, and I'm not really aware. Now they do have that Canon EOS utility, but that thing is buggy as I don't know what. I think one of the systems that I used that I was having an issue, that the system worked perfectly fine for me, but once I put it there, it was just crashing like crazy. And then after further study, it was that EOS utility that was just messing up everything. But I don't know. But I say that to say that gets around it, but I think it might introduce some more problems for you. Otis, what's going on from Texas? June. Best recommended Ethernet to HDMI converters when using multiple displays. I would say the Ori. I've used those multiple times and not had an issue with them. Starting at maybe like $50 and working their way up. If you really, really, really want a very good one, you can go with the HD-based T ones, which cost more, but I mean, that can run a cable 500 feet and have multiple outs and they work. Ori actually reached out to me and they said they have a new 8K one that they want me to test out, which I don't mind. I don't have any 8K stuff. I don't have a display or anything to show it, but I am more than willing to test it out because I'm sure somebody out there has that. Back to A. Watson. Okay, AJ, I have a hum in my ATEM Mini going to my live stream. What can we do to get rid of it? Well, first, make sure that you do not have it set to mic and you have it set to line, and then maybe try and do a balance on that. Let me know that first. Do you have it set? So if we come over here to our ATEM softwares, we want to make sure we go here to audio, and mine is super loud, but I'm going through the road. Y'all are not hearing this. We come over here to the gear, go to audio, general, and make sure this is set to line. If it is set to line, then we got to play with some more stuff. You could put some dynamics in here. You could put a noise gate. You could try and play around with that, but I don't want to jump ahead. Just confirm, do you have it set to line for what you have going in? You also could put a hum destroyer. I used to have one of those when I was going into the ATEM, but that's what I gave to Epworth to solve their issue because their hum destroyer was messing up, throwing hum there. So try that out, and I'll put a link down here to the hum destroyer, feedback destroyer that I had. Feedback eliminator, destroyer, suppressor, whatever it's called. Yeah, and this is the one that I had. There was actually, it's on sale now for like $19. So it is the compact mini hum eliminator. I'll put that down here. Just make sure you have the right cables to go into it. But once you see it, you'll see the type of cables that you need. Excuse me. All righty. Where we leave off? All right. Some other people are talking in reference to the Canon. Ray B, hello. Thank you, Augustine. I appreciate it. Lamoris, thank you. I use Premiere Pro for editing. Is DaVinci Resolve worth learning? Yes, it is. Come over to the DaVinci Resolve side. The same thing I go for Augustine. Augustine used Premiere. I'm trying to tell him he needs to come over to the DaVinci Resolve side. Back to Shane and Hannah saying the PTZ is going well and we have now got a Control 2. Awesome. Robert, what up, fam? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, too. Insert name here. Thanks for the input, guys and gals. Still making changes to our system, adding another camera and mics. I'm using boundary mics to pick up sound and voice. People don't want to see them. Any opinions? I'm looking at trying to add something like that as well, so I can't really address that. So if anybody has an answer, I would really appreciate that. Natty, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. John, Happy New Year. Feeling blessed that after doing AV for 95% of services over the past 2 years, we have a new church member who I've trained and has passion to serve. Well, hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Hey, I know how that feeling is. I actually got another, I don't know, I always joke with her, but she's the pretty young lady who grew up in the youth choir and now is graduated and is in college and doing stuff. She's Lindsay. I'm giving her a shout out, Lindsay. Love you, Lindsay. She's the one who's always on my refrigerator picture. That was her high school graduation picture. She is finally coming around, and she is now my third intern who's going to be running the media. So she's going to be there Sunday. So it's a good feeling. It is a good feeling to have some other people and to literally be able to step back and not micromanage and let them steer the ship in their own unique way. As long as they're not doing damage, let them have their freedom. That's what it's all about. When we talk about the same way, having succession planning, that is what it is. You want to have people that are empowered to be able to use the system so that you can step back, because I don't know about nobody else. I don't want to do this forever. You know, I want to train people that they feel comfortable to where then they can step out and do the stuff as well too. Let's see. Insert name here again wants to know, have you had any experiences with live streaming licenses for church? Yes, we actually have a CCLI license. We used to have a CVLI license for when we were doing movie nights. You need to have one because it's illegal for you to play a movie for more than a household. So churches don't do nothing stupid. You need to have licenses for that. But again, even though you have the licenses, unfortunately, like platforms like YouTube, Facebook, you get hit for a bunch of dumb stuff. So that isn't really real. And that reminds me, let's see. It was on a couple of streams ago. I was looking at my church's stuff, and we got hit for a bunch of dumb stuff that wasn't real. It was getting hit for, you're playing this hymn that was written 150 years ago that's in public domain, stuff like that. So let's see how that stuff is gone, because so we got hit. Here's another one. Let's look at this one and just see how dumb this is. All right, here's my church channel. Here is our live stream from this past Sunday. We had a copyright claim. Let's see what it is. We got copyright claim for doing Now Behold the Lamb. I was playing that. These people don't own that song. So that's stupid. And then here's another one, Praise Jehovah. That's not the same Praise Jehovah. That is not right. And that person also, and it's the same people, they don't own this. So we're going to dispute. This is fair use. This is other. This song was done live with musicians and choir in a church service without using any form of produced material. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as that. Because you can't copyright me playing a song, and I played it completely different how that is. So, and I'm gonna copy the same thing here because that's the same statement I'm gonna use in the other one. But see, this is what I'm saying. This is silly. How many people have done Now Behold the Lamb? I'm not putting the lyrics up. We're just singing a song. You cannot copyright a singing a song. You can't do that. So that's one. And then we're going to come in here and do Praise Jehovah. I'm going to dispute this one because what they're trying to match isn't even the same song. I could have done original content, but because it's considered a cover. Maybe I'll do a cover song of this. So, but I mean, this is, even though we have a license, see, we get this stuff. There's no way to fill these licenses in ahead of time and say, hey, we have one, y'all can ignore us and stuff like that. You can't do that. But this is the reason why I know that this stuff isn't legit, because I have this one. This has been in dispute since December 6th, and no one has said anything. Actually, no, I disputed it on the 21st. So let's go to another one, an older one. Let's see this one. This one was disputed in December 3rd. And again, the song that they're matching doesn't even match. It's not the same song. So if this was legit, they would be looking at this. This is just a computer that somebody registered a song that they don't own, and they're saying, oh, this is theirs. They got 2 more days to respond to this. If they don't, they're going to drop it anyway. So this is the stuff that just burns me up for no reason. So all of these have been disputed because you don't own that stuff. So I don't know. So hopefully that helps. But that's annoying. Hey, and look, we got another person that wants to get banned for posting some stupid spam in the live stream. Where you at so I can kick you out? Reports, spam, get lost. All righty. Augustine has a great comment here. Let me close this down so I can actually read it. Periscope is a perfect example that when it's time to let something go, it's better to cut off the limb than to have the whole body affected. What's your recommendations for a reasonable one PTZ camera setup? Well, it all depends. It depends on where the camera is going to be placed, how far away is it going to be from its subject, how far away is it going to be from the person who's controlling it. Need some details on that. I mean, you can get because if you say the camera and the pulpit or the main subject is only going to be 30 feet away, you can get away with a 10X camera. You can get a PTZ camera for maybe $300 to $500. Or if it's kind of far, like again, at my church, we're about 65 feet away. The 20X works great for us. And then at Epworth, it's 100 feet. So we have a 30X and that works great. It all depends. Need some more details to give you some good stuff. Yo, I'm telling you, like what? I don't understand what's the point of posting these stupid, dumb spam comments in the live stream. Like, I don't. Anyway, you saw a crack in my armor there for a half a second. Augustine also, in media ministry and any ministry in general, it's always good to step back and look at the bigger picture and see what things are feeding the body and which things are causing the body disease. Very much so. We really need to look back and see what's going on. Mike, I can see the writing on the wall. We have 16,000 COVID cases here today. Good Lord. I can see we will probably have to move back to online services. I'm going to keep my mouth shut on my opinion on stuff here. Michael, I hear a lot about Presenter and Pro Presenter. What about Proclaim? Proclaim works great as well, too. There's a bunch of them. OpenLP, Easy Worship. It doesn't really matter. It's mainly, does it suit your needs? I talk about Presenter a lot because that's one that I came across that was completely free, and a lot of people have been happy with it. OpenLP is free as well, too. There's a bunch of them out there. So as long as the software suits your needs and it can do what you need it to do, then use whichever one. I can't remember. I think, no, Proclaim does do multiple outputs as well, too. So all the stuff we've been talking about, it will work the exact same way. Back to Paul. And I think I'm on a different page here because my comments are not caught up. And I also tried to get the aux out from the mixer to the ATEM, but the sound that is coming out in the ATEM software, it shows as left side only, right side no volume. Okay, so if you're coming out from an aux, most likely that aux is only doing the left channel and it's not doing the right. So it might be another aux, or you might need to change it to mono, so you can do that. That will work as well too. All right, so we're on page number 1. And I should move this over here so I'm not looking all over the place. Mike also wants to know, anybody got any ideas on how to increase engagement for online services? Call people out. Not in a bad way, but engage, actually interact with them. That's what I would think. But that's just one idea. But yeah, I'm open to see what everybody else is thinking on ways to do that as well too. Maurice wants to know, are you using the vMix as your encoder? No, I'm using the web presenter as my encoder right now. vMix is doing everything, but I just have an external display going out into the web presenter, and the web presenter is encoding and streaming what you're watching. All right, now, Jehoshaphat. All right, AJ, thanks for your support. Greetings from Maryland, Silver Springs. Hey, my best friend lives in that area. He's a police officer in the area, so don't go speeding. Daryl, what would you recommend for in-ear monitors communicate between the media team and the band members? Well, I think you have an X32. I would honestly just get the personal mixers, and then you can talk back on a set channel to them. Or, I mean, you can go old school and just get some walkie-talkies, either one, with they have earbuds so they can hear in that way. That could work as well, too. Raylan, always enjoy the content, AJ. Maybe we can do a live stream collab in 2022 on church stuff. Maybe. You just got to email me. Hit me up. Go to my About channel. Send me an email, and we'll see what we can do. Covenant Healing. I need additional HDMI ports. Any suggestions? Do additional HDMI affect laptop in any way? Yes, it affects in performance. You can get a USB out to HDMI. Those work. They're like $15. But just realize that it takes processing to do that. So, I mean, I wouldn't add 20. You know, you can add maybe 2, 3, and it should work. But again, it all depends on your laptop's horsepower. If it's a Mac, it will not work. Similar to what I was saying with the M1s, they have a limited amount of display outs that it can support. Natty, excuse me. I have 3 kids, and sometimes they make me late. The sad thing is, live stream gotta wait till I get to church. Most of the equipments are mine too. Hey, you man, it's a bunch of people in that same situation. Reverend Richard, hope you got your answers. I answered your questions there, sir. Glad to be able to join. Thought I may miss it. Nah, YouTube had mine for whatever reason. Man, I don't even want to blame YouTube. I must have set the time wrong on the day, but hopefully you got your answers there. Pat, in reference to videos, can you purchase them? I'm just coming on board with you, so I am just now aware. In reference to the videos, can you purchase them? I mean, yeah, you could always go if you wanted to support the eMissionary Conference. You can go to emissionaryconference.com and still purchase them. But I mean, at this point, I really appreciate that, but I'm getting ready to open them up based on how the poll is going. 93% of people saying I should open it up. So like if I went over here now, this is where you could still get purchases. So like we had other folks in here. We had Monty, he was one of the teachers, Josh, Francisco, Jamie, Otis, who's on here, he was on there. Mike, who was on here, was one. Chuck, Mark, LC, my brother-in-law, Shannon, Anthony. We had a bunch of people in here. I mean, you can always go here and, you know, still purchase it for $75, and it's going to go towards, you know, helping, you know, whatever type of endeavors that we're doing. But like I said, I would honestly say if you want to do that, it would probably be better just for you to either become a YouTube member or a Patreon supporter for whatever period of time, or just donate to the to what we're doing. Cash App is AJaytheCEO if you really want to do that. Because, I mean, again, I'm not trying to nickel and dime anybody. So I appreciate the fact that you want to buy them. But I'm probably just going to drop them here in a little bit based off of, actually, why don't we just do it now? Because I pretty much got the poll and everybody says that's what they want. 93% say yes. So I'm going to end it. And, ooh, Jerry Rig got a new video. I got to watch that when I'm done. I'm going to open these up and you'll probably see them here shortly. But we'll get back to that. And the hunger is about ready to set in. So I'm here in my stomach. So we're gonna be getting something to eat pretty soon. John is, what's the benefit of disputing? I mean, for me, I'm disputing it because it's a whole bunch of con artists out there trying to lay claim to like, the reason I say this is I've written music that's listed in the Library of Congress under my name. I put one of these songs out and somebody tried to claim it as theirs. I'm like, oh, you's a lie. You don't own this. I did it. I wrote it. I made it. It's registered in my name and you're lying. That's how I feel. I'm not 100% accurate on this, but I got a feeling that YouTube and Facebook are not verifying if they actually own this stuff. Because if you looked up this song, I'm listed under as the owner and the creator of the song. So how in the world are they able to say that I own this so they can dispute it when I'm the actual owner of the song? And I got the letter from the Library of Congress that is registered in my name. You know, for me, I'm disputing it to try and point out that these people are lying. But then also, strikes are what you got to be careful of. Copyright, because what I feel, a lot of people are doing this stuff, and you'll see it, it's in phases, to where another company will come up and register, and then all of a sudden you start getting hit for owning a song that was done in a video 5 years ago. Like I used to use vlog background music for free, which was free. And artists would release their song to that channel so that you can use the music. But then somebody, like there was this one guy, like I use Scott Holmes, no relation. I used to use a lot of his music, and he's an artist out in London and he releases his music. But there was some guy that downloaded all his music, made a fake Facebook page, Instagram page, all this other crap, and then registered all those songs as if they were his. And then all of a sudden, all my old videos started getting hit because their thought is, oh, I'm going to copyright strike this person, because if that happens, that means all the monetary gains that you get from the video go to that person. So it's a scam of them trying to register these songs thinking, oh man, if I get this one video that has millions of views and they're making $100,000 on this video, they have to pay that money to me instead of doing the work and making a daggone video. You're just trying to steal from somebody else. That's the long drawn out why this just annoys the daylights out of me. Back to Pat. So that brings up a question. How can I know what is permissible as far as showing lyrics, graphics, etc. on the screen to avoid this? Unfortunately, there is nothing right now. There's no clear path to do this because this stuff is changing all the time. Like, we don't play anything that is not recorded. You can't copyright me using my brain and my skill to play a song. That is my own interpretation of it. You can't copyright that. So it's more of being knowledgeable of what you can and can't do. So the easiest thing is, if you have not produced a song in any way, shape, or form, if you are playing something that you bought from YouTube Music, iTunes, on a CD, a tape, a A-track, a LP, if you did not make it and you do not own the rights to it, you don't play it in any way, shape, or form. Now, if I happen to play, or you have a band, a live band playing it, you can't copyright that. Or if you buy tracks and they give you a license to use it, then you're fine. That's the best way to do it. Just be knowledgeable of what to do when people try to con you, and know your rights. Because just think about it. If it was illegal for you to do that, then you couldn't sing anybody's song. You couldn't be able to do that. You couldn't hum somebody's song because you're breaking somebody's copyright. You see how silly that sounds? Now, if I'm playing somebody's stuff without their permission, that's something completely different. Johan, I would suggest the same thing I have down below, a hum eliminator. Try and put that in between. Now, kind of need to know what the hiss is. Every mic in every device has a floor. You need to find out what that is. Like if I crank this up, you'll be able to hear this. And this is way louder than I've normally ever had this audio, because I actually have this on a cloud lifter. Well, not a cloud lifter. I forgot what it's called. A FET head. That's what it is, to boost it. You got to be mindful that you don't push it higher than that noise level, but a hum eliminator would help that as well. Steve, what happens if you don't dispute a copyright claim on YouTube? It's just going to stay there. And if you were earning any income from that video, it wouldn't go to you. It would go to them. Even if you were only if they said that you were using 5%, it would go. It used to be that would also introduce ads on your video, but that's since been changed, that all ads go on all videos now. So that's the main thing. For me, I don't think it's a detriment, but you just got to be mindful that you don't want to have a lot of them, because after a certain point, 3 strikes, copyright strike. That's when somebody's saying, no, you use my stuff and I want you to take it down now. You get 3 of those, you're banned completely from YouTube. So you just want to be careful. You just don't want to have a bunch on there. So it's better for me just not to have anything at all. Raylan wants to know, can you schedule Web Presenter HD to start at a certain time? Restream will make us update the stream key for every event, so trying to avoid that. To my knowledge, no. I don't know of a way to do that, but I'm sure there's an API that you can talk directly to it and engage it. Like using something like the companion app or something like that, you may be able to do something like that. But I don't know directly how to do that. Parker, hey, what's going on? Ty wants to know, are there any advantages of purchase software versus free software? Secondly, besides being free, are there any other reasons to choose free software, ease of use, updates, etc.? I mean, no, well, technically the thought is if you're paying for a software, you're paying for a team that's maintaining it and keep it up to date. OBS is not owned by anybody, it's by a community, but I think OBS is different because there's so many people using it and so many developers that, I think it will work well. So it's your preference. If you want to have the safety of having a dedicated team that's working on it, then go with a paid option. But that's also not guaranteed too. That's the reason why we got away from Easy Worship. We paid for it, they sunset it, and they stopped supporting it. So we were forced to have to buy a new one. So, it all depends. Hey, Pat, I think this is something different. The e-missionary is different from the class type of stuff. But I mean, the videos are going to be available here pretty soon, so you should be fine. TR, we are finally going to move from using a Logitech C525 webcam to a real camera for our live stream. I keep hearing that PTZs are the only good way to go. Any recommendations for 500? Well, like I was saying before, I mean, I won't say they're the only option. PTZs are good if you have limited amount of people and you want to put the cameras in different places and you don't have the bodies to run the cameras. Now, it's hard for me to give you a recommendation without knowing the layout. You need to know how far away the camera is going to be from its main subject and things like that. So you give me some of that, and then I'll give you some points. What food are you looking to get here in Chicago? Really don't have a preference. I need to watch my diet. But I'm not a picky eater. I just don't. I was getting ready to say something that was inappropriate. It's on the PC. I don't do a lot of Southern food. I can't stand. I was just talking to one of my friends about this. I can't stand chitlins. Never ate them. Disgusting. No, never, ever. Other than that, I'm open to trying new stuff. Like I had escargot on my cruise. Actually, I like that, but chitlins, no. But I have no preference. Sean, well, actually, the music. Well, I was on SoundCloud under. I can't even remember what I was under. I think it's Sir Triggerlot, based off my gaming channel. But the music that I wrote was really it was a symphony for my college project. I wrote a video game, and it was the music for that. So it was around like 27 songs, but then I was able to do, it's called a music collection by Arthur Holmes. And it has a bunch of video game music, but it also has gospel music because I've written a couple of gospel songs in my church. Used to sing them, the youth choir, but it's been a while. So I don't have it anywhere for sale, but I do have my covers of songs of God Cares for You and The Crown and Praise Jehovah, Sound of Praise, and some other stuff like that. Why are all these emails? Oh, that was the email coming in that I've disputed the video. YouTube just came in. Yeah, just like Daniel said, they are not verifying. Nope, not at all. Let's go to page number 1. Shane wants to know, do you do some videos on how to improve your YouTube channel? Well, it depends. I am working on some of that stuff as well, but in what aspect of improving are you talking about? Yeah, I appreciate that, Steve. Yeah, folks, again, if you don't mind, please go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help out a lot. I would appreciate if y'all do that. Thank you. Got a lot of comments because I was clicking on one and then it jumped to the new page here. Let's see. Back to Paul. Regarding the echo, sound or double sound, would you think is there any chance from the setting on the mixer? No, I don't. I mean, unless you have effects turned on, then yes. But most of the time, the echo when it comes to live streaming is because you're bringing in the audio twice. I need to get some water. Rhonda, I have my cameras connected to the ATEM Mini Pro, streaming from laptop via OBS, not the ATEM. My encoder is whatever is built into the laptop, right? Suggestions for external encoder, by the way, ATEM or laptop. Well, if you're using OBS and it's going into your laptop, if you go into the settings And maybe I shouldn't have closed down OBS. Let's go look at it here. Let's go here. When you go into here, your settings, and you go to output, you have, depending on what's in your system, like I have a RTX 2070. So I have the NVENC as a encoder option that's being powered off of my GPU. You also, if you don't have a powered GPU that handles encoding, the only thing you have is software. Software means it's using the CPU to handle your encoding, which does work. That's what's at my church because the processor is fast enough and we're not doing nothing but streaming. But with here, I hand it off to the graphics card because I'm not playing games and it's just doing that, which is very good. And that's what I really recommend, but it's still kind of hard to get a good, decently priced graphics card right now. But back to your question. Get my screen out the way so I can see it. Suggestions for external encoder. If you're using the ATEM Mini Pro, that could be your encoder. It can do it that way. Because you could do a bunch of things. You could, all the stuff that, and this was kind of talk when I was talking about doing the entire stream dedicated from the ATEM, not using OBS at all. You could have the output from OBS sent into your ATEM. So all the graphics, the videos and everything, you can use OBS as your presentation software and you can send it everything that way. So if you had videos and stuff like that, you could do it that way. You have an external encoder, and I would think the ATEM would be better. And that way you wouldn't have to buy anything. Your workflow would need to change. But I think that would be the easiest move for you. Paul wants to know, how can I record Facebook live feed to OBS Studio? Now, are you streaming from OBS? Because all you have to do is hit record to capture that. Or are you saying that you want to capture a live from Facebook into OBS that you're not streaming? Need some details on that. Daniel's saying, I switched over to using audio over Cat 6. Now I'm getting a radio station through my XR18. You need to go and get a shielded Cat 6 cable. Maybe that should help you. Joshua wants to know, do you know of any cheaper PTZ cameras than $1,000? Because if we get 2 or 4 PTZ cameras and the IP controller, all the cables, etc., it's probably going to be around $8,000 to $10,000. Well, I mean, it all depends. I mean, the cameras I use go around for $700, but that's mainly going to be focused on your zoom. You could go with a 10x, and that can probably drop you down to $500. But I mean, I'm just wondering, if you go with 4 PTZs, even at $1,000, and you get an IP-based controller that goes for around like $500, let's just say that's going to be like $4,500. And then cables, I mean, you're probably going to add in, you're probably going to be around like $5,000 for that. But let me know. It's mainly, again, based on other statements I said, it's all dependent on how far away the camera's going to be. You may be able to get away with a 10x, and you can, cameras are only going to cost $400 to $500. It all depends. Back to Pat, and I need to reload my drink here in a little bit. Does it make a difference to use combinations of Cat 5, 6, 7, 8 Ethernet cords? Does it make a difference to use combinations of Cat? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I mean, I would just think that if you're already getting a bundle of whatever cable, to stick with that and not really mix and match. I don't think it would hurt. But it also depends on what you're using it for. But I don't think it would be that big of an issue. Back to Sean. In order to eliminate some of those issues, Pastor asked me to just make some recordings for online streaming that is original. Planning on even writing the intro myself on the to-do list. Hey, completely agree. Because then, now, Sean, I can use my spiritual imagination and see your reaction when you wrote your own song and then you get a copyright claim for it. Man, I can probably hear you flipping tables from here. Because I mean, that's the stuff that just it's so many people that are just trying to con people and steal off of everybody else's work instead of just like, how about you get off your butt and do something yourself? Like I don't know. Was that too inappropriate? No, I don't think it was. um, Another Joshua. Appreciate the content you provide. Has been a big help to me and my church. Hey, you are welcome. Other Joshua wants to know what stopped you from using EC Worship. It broke. It stopped working. They stopped supporting it, and when we tried to reinstall it again, they didn't honor our certificate to re-register, and they were like, we don't support it no more. So if you uninstall it, we're not going to allow you to install it. You have to upgrade. That's why we stopped using it. And it would just break. It was very buggy, and at the time, the newest version was even worse. And they were trying to force everybody to the newer version by not supporting the older version, which I understand. But I mean, it was like your product was horrible. Hey, what is going on? But back, it was saying we have a pretty small sanctuary, so probably like a main left and right and one on the worship team. So I mean, you could get away with some of these other PTZs. I think like Famako has one that's a 10x that goes around like $400. That could work. And I'm just wondering, like, if you're doing from a praise team, you don't necessarily have to have a PTZ. You could get a static camera that's on them as long as they stay in a certain set position. Like, I really want to introduce a static camera like the Makos SDI one because I have an extra SDI cable in the ceiling. I want to put one on the band and have it locked onto them, but we'll see how that goes. So, I mean, you could get away with that. And in a similar question, back to TR, 35 feet from the pulpit to the 15-foot balcony where the media team is, we have a slight angle from the pulpit, maybe 85 degrees. Yeah, I think you would be the same. A 10 or a 12X may be able to work good for you. I need to pull that up here in a second. No, Daniel, is Sir Trig a lot. Like, I used to shoot a lot in games. Let me show you. I actually streamed yesterday. I was playing I'm looking that up because I was using Sir Trig a lot before it was where everybody could be on that stuff from day one. Like, you didn't have to have the counts and everything to be monetized. So if I go over here, this is my gaming channel. I have not used this in quite a while. I did stream this yesterday. So I used to do a whole bunch of stuff. I don't play sports, but I used to simulate different games and stuff like that. I had a channel, a thing called Just Cheating, where I would play offline and then just turn all the cheats on and just had fun playing and stuff like that. Do complete playthroughs and stuff like that. But I mean, I can't even get myself to sit down and play games like that anymore. I don't know. I don't want to say I've grown out of it. I just have my attention is on something else now. Let's see. Now, you mentioned it. I was thinking about this. Deep pan pizza. Yeah, we definitely can do that. Let's see what else. From South Carolina here, not sure if I'm allowed to watch. Hey, I mean, that's fine. My family eats that stuff. I don't. I just don't. Daniel also want to know what was that SoundCloud name again? I need to look it up. I think it was Sir Triggerlot. I haven't used it. I don't know how long. Let me go to my phone and see. Yeah, I don't even remember my login for this. Let me see. I logged into my Gmail and let's see. Yep, that was it. That was it. Yay. So, yep, that's it. So I know it's not going to be in focus, but it is Sir Triggerlot. So if I go over to, it was the same thing, just like my channel that I just did, the Sir Triggerlot channel on YouTube. If you look that up. So I would get back into gaming, but most of the games now, it's like I don't like my daughter being around seeing, so that's why I don't really play that much. And then the games I do, they're long, and I just don't have the time. Like, I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. I just don't have 100 hours just to sit and play games like that anymore. I miss it, but I kind of don't. Ramon, it was, let me actually just look them up here. So here's a couple right here. This is the Famako, and that's ones I've been using a lot. So you got this 12X here that's going for $469. Then you have this 3X, that's $349. This is the typical one that I've been using, the 20X, for $700. So you have some playroom as well too. Like this one. So you got to be careful on these. These look like they are good, but this is USB only. So, I mean, that may work, but you would need to be pretty close to your computer, because USB can't go but so far. So, see, you have USB out, and that's only USB 2.0. I'm like, how are they doing 1080p on that? But, I mean, this could work, but you have to be pretty close to the computer, since it's going to be over USB. Here, I will include the link to the Famako. I think SMT-AV has some like that as well too. Let me see. Yeah, they have this 12X here for about $480, but don't buy it from them. The seller, they're adding $50 just for shipping. All right, so this one under here is the exact same one, but see, that's USB only out as well too. Let's see. Yeah, see, this is USB 3.0, but still, that's the only issue with some of these. At this point, I mean, it's almost like I was going to say you almost might even make out better just getting a regular camcorder and put it on a tilting head, and you would come in at a cheaper price, but I don't believe so. But right now, I think the Famako is the only one that actually has an HDMI out on the back. So if we go here, see, this one has HDMI and USB. So this is the one that I would do, and that's a 12X, and that's pretty decent. So I will include the link here in the chat for that one. Famako 12X PTZ. So, folks, I mean, like I said, we're going to be going a little bit longer today. I mean, because this is the last Q&A for the year. So I did a video talking about where to next. So I'm asking y'all, where are y'all going to next? Let me know. What's y'all's plans? I've shared in that video what I'm working on, but what are y'all working on? Where's the destination that you have set that y'all are working at? Because there's no point in just working without a destination. Then you're just spinning your wheels. You need to know, do you have a tangible place that y'all are looking at going at? And And while y'all answering that, back to Pat, for smaller churches other than PTZ, what would you recommend? I mean, a static shot or a camcorder, to be quite honest. I would stick with. But honestly, once you get to a camcorder, it's about the same price as a PTZ. But that's what I would do. Funwayo, hello, I haven't heard from you in a while. What's the best setup for using lyrics on video for stream audience and slides and PowerPoint at the same time for in-person folks using OBS? I wouldn't do that. I would just use one system and have different layouts for each one. So like what we did at Spring Creek, where ProPresenter is sending full screen for everybody in the house, but a secondary screen is sending it as a lower third for the people on live. I think adding a different piece of software, two different ones, is going to add a whole lot more complexity. I think there's a couple of people in here that do that now, that they've run two completely different instances of their presentation software, and that's a lot to juggle there. Back to Daryl. Do you recommend putting a disclaimer for a church service stream just in case they either play copyrighted material or there's a praise dancer? I put a disclaimer. Well, first off, the text disclaimer doesn't do anything. My disclaimer is it completely kills the audio, so I do not send it out. And I put a message out for everybody else. So if I go back here in OBS, how I have mine is when we have a Be Right Back, mine does this. I kill the audio. I'm playing a licensed track of a song that I purchased from Audio Jungle, and I have the license for that, and I kill all audio. And it just says live stream will resume soon. Live audio temporarily disabled. Copyrighted material currently being played. So this would be something similar that would need to be done if you were doing everything directly from the ATEM. You would need to kill the audio so it doesn't go out. So that's the only disclaimer that I put out there. Back to Rhonda. We'll be replacing our PTZ cameras far end 60 feet from the pulpit. Close camera about 15 to 20 from the pulpit. Need suggestions on cameras and controller and joystick. I would get the bundle from Famaco because when you buy them together, when you buy them together, it's cheaper than you buy them separate. And then I would add another one of those short ones. Well, honestly, you can get that bundle with the 220X and the controller for around $1,900 for two PTZ cameras and the controller. I would just go with that. Because you're going to save yourself maybe $300 if you went with one, but I'd rather have more zoom and not need it than to when you finally put it up there like, oh man, we should have went with the other camera. That's just me. So back to Paul, he was saying, I want to capture live video from Facebook to record in OBS. I won't be streaming. Now, this is my disclaimer. I am not responsible for you taking this information and using it and doing it inappropriately. I'll just say it that way. Really all you got to do is do a screen capture, do a window capture of whatever you're doing, a browser capture or whatever. And then you also capture the audio coming into your computer. I'm not going to demonstrate it. Because you could use that to do a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not going to do that. But that's how you would do it. Man, everything is going on. What's up with you? What's required for a church to do an internet radio station? Honestly, very little. I used to do this in college, and I think it's still available. Winamp, you could set it up and make your own type of radio station. You literally just needed a microphone, and you needed a computer that has access to the internet. And I was at the time using Winamp, and I just send it to Winamp. Then Winamp will broadcast it to whatever your platform of choice. And that was it. And we got another person that just loves to get reported for posting stupid spam. Ooh, excuse me. Norm wants to know, does Famaco have adequate customer support? They've responded to me in a timely fashion the times that I've had to contact them. But thankfully, that was out of maybe 50 of the cameras I've installed. I've only had to call them once. Hey, you are welcome. I'm glad to be of help. Sam, yeah, right. No, I ain't going to be on here that long. I got to head down and do some troubleshooting for Pastor Allen and then run their live stream for the concert that they're doing for New Year's. Todd Johnson, have you tried the Famaco joystick yet or included it with one of your projects? If so, how do you like it? That is actually going to be when I get to Chicago. That's what we're using in Chicago as well as down in Florida. So I will let you know when we get there. TR, yes, the HDMI out could go to a capture card. Would connecting to OBS will work fine. Yes, it would. Let's see. So awesome. Norm is saying we will set up and start live streaming by the end of March or hopefully sooner. Awesome. Well, great success to you with that. Pat, all of the Famacos had PoE support. So yes, that will work. Hans has a good suggestion for the internet radio. You can create an internet radio. Take a look at IceCast. Thank you. I'm going to look into that myself. Free service software for streaming multimedia. Awesome. Thank you there for sharing that, sir. I think I've reached my limit today, folks, because I'm hungry and I haven't eaten anything. We've been going for 2 hours and 5 minutes. Big, humongous show. Do I have? Hold on. Let me make sure I updated my supporters document. Oh, no, I haven't updated it because I started changing how I do shout outs from my Patreon and YouTube supporters. So my apologies, Patreon supporters and YouTube members. This isn't updated because I don't know if y'all noticed, I've been changing a lot of the stuff. I used to use After Effects to make my graphics. I would make that outside, then bring all that stuff into DaVinci Resolve, then do my stuff in DaVinci Resolve. In the last 3 videos, I've cut over to doing nothing but add-ons, all in DaVinci Resolve. So trying to streamline my process as well too. You've seen that we've shortened our intros and a bunch of other stuff. I'm streamlining a lot of stuff as well too. So we're going to be talking about that if you want me to go over that as well. I got everything from Envato Elements. And you know what? I'm glad I mentioned that because it is the last day of the month. Let's see what Envato excuse me, has available for stuff for free going into January. Free stuff. Where's that? All right, this was the December grabs. They haven't updated these yet. All right, so, oh well, we'll have to handle that later. So it'll be, I'm surprised. Let me actually re-download all of these just in case I missed these. Oh, they have changed it already. It's not available to buy. So maybe I just need to refresh my page and I will show y'all what I'm talking about. Nah, they're in the process of updating this. So here I'm at Video Hive and all of these, they give this stuff out for free. But if I go to this right now, they've switched it to buy. So they're swapping this out now. So the new one should be available pretty soon. Let's check out. Yeah, all of these have been switched to paid. So they're not free anymore because they're probably switching over to January's free stuff now. But yeah, let me know, because I've been trying to push everything to DaVinci Resolve so I don't have to jump over to anything else. And when that happens, once I'm very confident with that, I'm going to lower my Adobe Cloud to nothing but Photoshop, because there's no point in me paying for all the stuff that I'm not using. But like I said, all of that was to say I'm sorry that I don't have all the patrons on here and YouTube members, but I do want to thank all the patrons who are supporting me. You can also, well, actually, folks, I said it in the last video. I can't do this without them, and I'm just so thankful for all the stuff that they've done in support. We have people who have contributed $30 every single month for over a year. We have other people who are giving just $1. And again, I don't care what the amount is, you're helping us maintain this channel, allow me to get other products, the stuff that y'all are asking for. And it made this channel self-sufficient based on your contribution. So I really appreciate that from my patrons, and as well as for the YouTube members. And Pat is one of them, as well as a bunch of other people in here, A. Watson and everybody. I really appreciate all of y'all's support as well. And again, if you have become a patron or a YouTube member, your name is not on here, that is because I've changed over the stuff. This stuff is going to be updated here shortly in the same format that I've been doing on my videos as well. But I appreciate all y'all support. And if you're interested, you also can become a Patreon supporter by going to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, and you can get started for as little as $1 a month, or you can click the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world, and I really appreciate it. I hope y'all have a great new year, and more importantly, a new you. That's what's important, folks. All the stuff, all the tech, all the cameras, and all this other stuff, all the skills that you're learning, is just, at least for this channel, is meant to help share the message of Jesus Christ throughout the entire world. That's what it's all about. And thank y'all so much. I really appreciate all the love, the emails, the comments, everything like that, the invites, everything this entire year. I really appreciate it. For the people who are trying to laugh, no, I'm not crying. I'm just really appreciative of it, folks. I'm just thankful and just humbled every day when I get comments and emails from y'all, to have people in different countries I've never been to or even heard of saying, you've helped our ministry out here. I mean, that means a lot. And that's way more fulfilling than me sitting down doing a SQL database for the old company I used to work for. So really appreciate it, folks. Y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever it is. And we will be seeing y'all in 2022. Y'all have a great one, folks. Later.